the dancing clown.
Hi.
Would you like your boat back?
Yes, please.
Would you like a balloon too?
I'm not allowed to take things from strangers.
Yeah. You, Georgie. Me, Pennywise. Me, Pennywise. You, Georgie. Do you want your boat back now, Georgie?
Yes, please.
Just kidding. Chicken? They all float down here. And that's about it, but the character development is great, and we get to see each one have their own encounter or encounters with the it creature, well, apart from Richie, until they all go and try to confront him or look in the house that Eddie saw it at, and then Richie sees it, and then there you go, and then they try to defeat it a bit later on. That's pretty much the plot. They do, after the incident at the house, the kids do kind of leave it for a bit, but then they come back when Beverly, the girl, gets kidnapped. And I bloody love these characters. You got Bill, you got Richie, you've got Stan, you got Eddie, you got Benny, or Ben, Beverly and Mike, and they're all brilliant. Each of them having a great character development. I do think some of them, especially Mike, don't get as much development. Mike and Stan, Richie, maybe not, and Ben gets good development because he's investigating the past of Derry. It's mostly focused on Bill quite a lot of the time because it's his brother, Georgie, was the boy that you see eaten at the start of the film. And Beverly gets quite a bit of screen time, which is good for the girls, although, like I said, Mike doesn't get so much, so that's not so good for the blacks. And Eddie gets quite a bit, well, not sure quite a bit, he gets more development than some of the others because of his medical thing. But they're all good, the actors are great, and they do a really good job in the roles, and yeah, they're just they just had the best actors, the best child actors in for this movie, and Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. Brilliant. It's difficult to distinguish between a positive clap and a sarcastic, negative clap. I suppose that's positive and this is negative. Yeah, that's how we're going to do them differently, unless I go for some reason, or in which case you probably will know what one's which, but it's better if it's or. And so far, this entire movie has been... Clapping makes my hands hurt. Not so much now, but usually when it's... And the scares are great. It's treated more as a horror movie as opposed to the 1990s miniseries, which is a bit more campy. A Facebook follower, Mark Pirie, I think, said that he... Was it me? Mark Pirie? Or someone else? Said that they thought the 1990s clown, Tim Curry's performance in the 1990s miniseries was scarier. I'm not sure. I think it might have been. I'll have a quick check. Yeah, it was Mark Pirie. And also, shout out to Simon Wormald. He loved this film as well. In fact, just looking at that, I just noticed that he's going in for a round 3, or had gone in for a round 3. Yeah, I would go for another time as well, but I'm going to see Kingsman next. I've tried to see them at least once at the cinema and then wait for the DVD Blu-ray. But if they do go and see a film again for a second time, that'd be great at the cinema. So, like I said, this is a really great film. It's scary, but also fun. It's enjoyable. I love watching the kids doing their stuff, but it's also great seeing Pennywise up to his stuff, and also the stuff with the bullies is actually quite tensionous, and I believe that they and Pennywise could actually hurt and or kill these kids, as opposed to the 1990s miniseries, which I haven't seen, but I've seen the Nostalgia Critics review of it, so I know I've seen it quite a few times. It's probably my most watched one of his. It's also certainly one of his best reviews, and yeah, I'll be looking forward to his one of this film when it comes out. It's going to be another cinema one like Suicide Squad, but then he'll put it on YouTube and the Channel Autumn website, probably nearer to the end of, probably in October. Wouldn't be surprised if it was the Halloween one, but I think that, well, I don't know if they're saving that for that one, or if they're doing another Stephen King one beforehand. I presume it's going to be the Stephen King film of the year. If not, then there'll be another one, and it might be before or after. I'm not sure. We'll see. Anyway, but yeah, and the miniseries does look a bit campy in some places because it's on a lower budget and Tim Curry's performance in some scenes. But despite that, it looks good. But this one with a bigger budget and less restrictions on the blood, violence, scares, etc. Although not being as explicit as the original book. Example, the sex scene at the end of the first half, that would have been at the end of the film if it was kept, well, with Beverly and this other boy, the boys, that wasn't included. And although I did like the story of how people thought she'd had sex with quite a few boys beforehand and she was being bullied by these girls, who aren't as bad as the boy bullies, led by Henry Bowers? Yeah. But they're not nice. Considering they're bullies, they're not nice. And one of them, the leader of the pack, writes loser on Eddie's broken arm after he breaks his arm at the house bit. He tries to get rid of the S with a V, a red V, to make it lover. Ah, isn't that sweet? And although she does kind of help him realise his medications are bullshit, as they said. Yeah, and the Bowers and his gang are quite menacing as well, and quite a potential threat, and they're very well done. The actors do a great job there. One of them actually gets killed off by it before any of the other kids do. Although none of the kids die in this movie. But I'm sure at least a few of them are going to get axed off in the sequel. I know 2 of them did in the miniseries. One of them by it and the other one himself. Does that mean there's going to be 5 survivors? We'll see how it plays out. The miniseries might have changed some stuff. Overall, this film is brilliant and it's really good. I'm glad I saw it. I was expecting to like it, but not heavily like it. I was going in, oh, I've heard good stuff about this. And I'm going to go and watch it because it sounds good and, hey, Nostalgia Critic did that review on it. And also, Conjuring 2 made me like horror films. Because I had liked some horror films as the ones I'd seen, but I hadn't really enjoyed them until Conjuring 2. And that was a surprise. Like La La Land, that was a big surprise how good it was. And I'd like to say this one is also a big surprise and a very happy surprise it is. Because it was a great film. I really enjoyed this movie and I really liked it. And that's an understatement. I loved this film. And therefore, I was going to give this a 9 out of 10 after I originally saw it in for a few days until yesterday when I was doing the original review. But then I decided, you know what, I love this movie. I bloody love this one, and now it's gone 3rd place on the list so far of the year. Above Wonder Woman and now Logan, which I think that's swapped the places round. I think Logan's still 4th, so Wonder Woman's 5th at the moment. Oh, and that means I'm raising Logan's score from a 9 to a 10 out of 10. But, yeah, but with this film at 3rd place, well, you know what I'm going to give it. I'm going to give It 2017, or It Chapter 1, 10 out of 10. The only nitpicks I kind of have with it is the fact that we didn't get so much development and all screen time with some of the kids, particularly Mike. Especially earlier on, after he delivers his meat to the butchers and has his first encounter with it, we don't really see him until he's being bullied by Henry Bowers and his gang, minus Patrick, who's been killed by the clown. And that's where he sees it again, a bit further off. But between those bits, we either get no or very little Mike. He doesn't really join the gang until shortly afterwards when they rescue him from Bowers and his gang. But all of the Losers Club is brilliant, and it's just brilliant. Also, I think we will be seeing Henry Bowers again in the second one because he was in the part 2 of the miniseries with the adults, and I think he's in the second half of the book, so I'm sure he's going to be back in the sequel. It's just a misleading of his death, similar with It, seeming like they have defeated him, but he's not dead yet. We'll be seeing him next time. Now, as this is set in 1989, with the first bit in 1988 with Georgie's death, and it's set every 27 years, I think the next one will be set in 2016, or start in 2016 and then move to 2017. Or maybe it'll start in 2015 and move to 2016. 15-16, yeah. So yeah, thank you for watching this review, and I'm really looking forward to It Chapter 2, which is probably now going to be my 4th most anticipated movie of 2019, after Bond 25, Avengers, and kind of a joint second between Avengers 4 and Star Wars 9. Star Wars Episode 9, it's kind of a joint between those two. We'll say joint second, and then 3rd/4th, It Chapter 2. I'd also like to say Dragons will probably be on that list, and Kingsman 3 if it's coming out in 2019. If not, they'll be on the 2020 list. And there'll be several Spider-Man Homecoming sequel will also be in the top 10. I'll develop a list closer to the time, as same for 2018. But yeah, thank you for watching this review. At time of recording, I haven't seen the Kingsman, the Golden Circle review yet, film yet. I'm going to see that Thursday, 21st. So hopefully by the time this review comes out, I've seen it. Because although I'll be able to get this out, but probably before I see it, I actually wanted to put that poster at the end. You know, I think I'll put the poster at the end anyway. Because I know I'm going to see it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Oh, you thought I was dead? No. I'm still around. Remember, they all float. They all float down here. Shit. Been half a minute in. Go. Sorry about that. Hello, Georgie. I'm Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Would you like your boat back? Would you like a balloon too? Oh, yeah. You, Georgie. Me, Pennywise. Fuck's sake. Hello, Georgie. I'm Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Would you like your boat back? Pissy. Do you want your fuck's sake? Signing out.